Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Futuh Al Ghaib, The Revelations of the Unseen, by Muhiyyaddeen Qadir Al Gilani Qaddasallahu Sirrahul Azeez. The 23rd Discourse. He, may Allah be pleased with him, said, "Stick to and be contented with the little that you have with utmost effort." Stick to and be contented with the little that you have with utmost effort, until the decree of fate reaches its culmination and you are lifted towards a higher and finer state, wherein you will be made to abide and kept secure from the hardships of the world's life and of the hereafter, and from evil sequel and transgression. Then you will be made to rise towards what will please your eyes all the more and will be more enjoyable. Then you will be made to rise towards what will please your eyes all the more and will be more enjoyable. And know that your portion you will not miss by your want of asking or seeking for it. Neither will that which is not your portion can be obtained by you through your greedy efforts and attempts for it. Know that your portion you will not miss by your want of seeking for it. Neither will that which is not your portion can be obtained by you through your greedy efforts and attempts for it. So hold your patience and stick with satisfaction to your present condition and be contented with it. So hold your patience and stick with satisfaction to your present condition and be contented with it. You should not take anything by yourself, nor give anything by yourself, unless and until you are commanded. And do not move on your own, nor rest on your own, because if you do so, you will be tried by a condition worse than yours in the creation. Do not move on your own, nor rest on your own, because if you do so, you will be tried by a condition worse than yours in the creation. Because by such a lapse you will be doing injustice. Because by such a lapse you will be doing injustice to yourself, and Allah is not unmindful of the unjust. Allah says, "And thus do we make some of the unjust to befriend others on account of what they earned?" Chapter 6, verse 130. Because you are in the house of a king whose command is great, whose power is immense, whose army is huge, whose will is in force, whose order is irresistible, whose kingdom is everlasting, whose sovereignty is abiding, whose knowledge is subtle, whose wisdom is deep, whose judgment is absolutely equitable, from whom not even an atom can be hidden, either in the earth or in the heaven, nor can the injustice of the unjust person can remain concealed. While you are the most unjust one and greatest offender because moved by your animal passion. While you are the most unjust one and greatest offender because moved by your animal passion, you have taken the initiative in your own self and in the creation of Allah, and thereby indirectly you have ascribed a partner to Him. And Allah says, "Verily, Allah will not forgive that any partner be ascribed to Him, and He will forgive what is besides that to whomsoever He pleases." Verily, Allah will not forgive that any partner be ascribed to Him, and He will forgive what is besides that to whomsoever He pleases. Chapter 4, verse 116. Keep away from associating anything with Allah with utmost effort, and do not go near this sin, and shun it in all your moves and restful conditions, during the night as well as during the day, both in moments of solitude and when you are in company. Beware of sin in all its forms, in all your organs of body and in your heart, and shun sin, what appears on the surface as well as what remains hidden. and do not run away from Allah, for He will overtake you. Do not run away from Allah, for He will overtake you. And do not dispute with Him in His decree, for then He will crush you. And do not blame Him in regard to His order, for then He will abase you. And do not remain forgetful of Him, for then He will forget you. Do not remain forgetful of Him, for then He will forget you and will involve you in troubles. And do not create any innovation in His house, for then He will destroy you. And do not say anything in His religion prompted by your own low desire, for then He will cause you perish, and will make your heart dark, and will snatch away from you your faith and your spiritual knowledge, and will give you a devil and your animal self and your low desires and passions, and people of your family and your neighbors and your friends and your associates and the rest of His creation. Even the scorpions of your house and its serpents and jinns and the rest of the venomous reptiles of it, power over you. His creation, even the scorpions of your house and its serpents and jinns and rest of the venomous reptiles of it, power over you. And thus He will make your life in this world dark and will prolong your punishment in the hereafter. The 24th Discourse. He, Allah be pleased with him, said, "Keep away from disobedience to Allah, the Exalted, the Glorious, with utmost effort, and clinch to His door with truthfulness, and apply all your power and effort in obeying Him with apologies and entreaties, showing your neediness in utmost submissiveness and humility, in silence and with downcast look, not looking at the people, nor following your animal desires, nor seeking any recompense whether of this world or of the hereafter, nor yet any promotion to a higher position or an honorable station. And know it for certain that you are His servant, and that the servant and all that he possesses belongs to his master. Know that for certain that you are His servant, and that the servant and all that he possesses belong to his master, so that he cannot claim anything as against him. Observe good manners and do not blame your master. Everything is in an appointed measure with him. Everything is in an appointed measure with him. What he puts forward, no one can push back, and whatever he keeps back, no one can push forward. What he puts forward, no one can push back, and whatever he keeps back, no one can push forward. And in this way, Allah acquits Himself with regard to your affairs. He has given you the abode of permanence in the hereafter, and made you the master of it, and will bestow on you such gifts in the hereafter as no eye has been seen, no ears has heard, and no human heart has felt. Allah says in chapter 32, verse 17, "So not soul knows what is in the store for them of that which will refresh their eyes, a reward for what they did, that is, a reward for their actions in this world, in carrying out the injunctions, and in exhibiting patience, in eschewing what is forbidden, and in surrendering and making oneself completely over to Him in all that is decreed by Him, and in reconciling oneself to Him in all affairs. But as for him whom Allah has given worldly things, and made him master of them, and blessed him in them, and conferred His favor, he has done so because the position of this man's faith is like a barren and hard land, in which it is not possible for water to stay for the trees, nor for the crops and fruits to grow. Then he cast in it various kinds of manure and similar things which cause the plants and trees to grow. And these are the world and its materials, in order to secure by these what He has grown in it, of the tree of faith and plant of deeds. If, however, these things are removed from it, the ground, the plants, and the trees will be dried, and the fruit will drop, and the whole countryside will be desolate. And Allah the Mighty, the Glorious, wants it to be populated and in a flourishing condition. Thus, the tree of faith the tree of faith in a rich man is weak of growth in its root. Thus, the tree of faith in a rich man is weak of growth in its root and is empty of what fills the tree with your faith. O dervish, whereas the strength of the other thing and its continuity of existence depends on the world and its various amenities that you see with its possessor, and there is nothing with him more preferable to what I have described to you. May Allah give us and you the power to achieve what He loves and is pleased with by His kindness. Thus, the strength and the continuity of the provisions of this world, what you find with Him together with various blessings. If these things are removed from Him while the tree is weak, the tree will be dried up and the rich man will become an unbeliever and will join the company of hypocrites and apostates and unbelievers. Oh my Allah, unless Allah sends to this rich man armies of patience and cheerful forbearances and certainty and knowledge and various kinds of spiritual enlightenment and thereby strengthen his faith, then of course he will not mind the disappearance of wealth and blessings.